So, with yesterday being Mother's Day, I just want to share with you a short, light-hearted story that went down in my family group chat yesterday morning. Now, my sister, bless her sweet heart, about Christmas time, she decided to create a group chat so we could all text back and forth because nobody really lives near each other. So, it was my parents, my sister, her husband, all the kids, my ex-wife. Everybody is in this group chat, and for the most part, it's harmless. However, yesterday, on this channel, I've talked a lot about gaslighting, but it's usually from the relationship perspective. And obviously, with me being a man, the perspective I have is women gaslighting men. But men do it too. And this story is one that, for those of you who are prospective fathers, this is an exact example of how not to be. So, we get the text about 10 o'clock in the morning from my dad, and he makes the comment that there's only one card that's been delivered to the house, Mother's Day card, and it's not from him. And so, generally speaking, I won't respond to stuff like that. So my sister responds, and she talks about, hey, I sent an e-card that should be in her email. And my dad replies back, yeah, it's a stupid e-card. That's a terrible thing to do to your mother on Mother's Day, and goes on to berate her. Now, my sister, who normally is not a big stick up for herself type of girl, sticks up for herself and says, I took a lot of time to pick out the e-card. I put a lot of, effort into it. She also has a present coming, and I don't appreciate you calling me out in the group chat. Now, my father's response got me tickled just a little bit. He's the one that started this whole hubbubaloo, and my sister sticks up for herself. And my father has the nerve to say to her, don't chastise me for your bad behavior. And so at this point, what I did is they continued to discuss this back and forth a little bit. And I sent the Michael Jackson eating popcorn emoji because I was getting a good kick out of it. Then, of course, my father immediately took the bait, right? He takes the bait and he says, you're next, Derek. I don't see a card here from you either. So I immediately texted my sister privately and I said, I'm removing myself from the group chat. I'm not playing this game with him. Now, my sister had sent an e-card and a present, and we had done the same thing. Now, before I could remove myself from the group chat, however, my father took it upon himself to open the Mother's Day card that had arrived. Okay? My mom's not even awake yet. But to prove his point, he opens up the Mother's Day card that had arrived and takes pictures of it and sends it in the group chat. And of course, it's this big, beautiful card from my ex-wife. Now, there's something there I'll tell you about in a second. So once that happened, I removed myself from the chat and the whole thing. I talked to my sister, and she's just face-palming, and my mother is just face-palming. Now, here's the catch to it all. Like I said, my sister and I, we send e-cards. We send, gift certificates because that's just what we've grown accustomed to doing, except there's a reason why we've grown accustomed to doing it, and this is where the next level of gaslighting comes in. Remember, the card that my father opened up and showed us was this big, beautiful card sent from my ex-wife. Now, we were married for 20-something years. About halfway through the marriage, my ex-wife went on a little bit of an environmental kick. And so it was decided by her that from now on, there will be no more paper cards, that we'll just send e-cards. So I got a good giggle out of the irony that there's my father gloating about this beautiful paper card that I guess my ex-wife does what she does, which is completely change her mind and her personality about things every 5 minutes. And there we are with our e-cards that tone was sent by my ex-wife well over a decade ago. So, two things here. It was interesting that it turned up this way on Mother's Day because my girlfriend and I, my current girlfriend now, Donna, and I had been talking about similar things the day before, and basically I alluded to the idea that I personally am the way I am as a father and as a spouse, that I grew up watching how my father interacted, and making sure that I don't want to be like that. That was one of the things that I made sure that I knew about myself as I was growing up, was I found any similarities that would be there between him and I made sure that I didn't turn out that way. And the second thing is, it's just lighthearted, but again, a lot of times when you're watching a men's support channel, they only want to talk about one end of thing. Men can do these things as well. And I just got a giggle out of it. When I finally talked to my mom, she said, well, he's lost his filter. He's 78 years old. He's lost this filter. And I about fell out of my chair because I'm like, Mom, you thought he ever had a filter? She's like, well, it's gotten worse. So for those of you who are prospective fathers, don't be afraid to look. There's good dads and there's bad dads. My dad was a good father, but in terms of ever learning how to properly interact with people, absolutely, he just never learned how to act right, as someone would say. So don't be afraid, guys, to take the things, as you're modeling your behavior after, whether it would be your father or your uncle or any good male role model that you might see. Don't be afraid to take the good parts and leave the bad parts behind. Second thing is, don't gaslight your kids on Mother's Day.